It was a strange life, an even stranger death. Michael Jackson was a mass of contradictions. Charismatic, hugely talented, eccentric, and downright weird. He was a blazing success and a tragic failure, an ageing Peter Pan who refused to grow up. And now he's gone, but the public fascination lives on, and once again, Michael Jackson is the biggest celebrity on earth. Here's Liz Hayes from the Jackson Mansion in Los Angeles.
Well, it's been an extraordinary few days here in Los Angeles. This is the city where entertainment is a way of life and celebrity is king. But even here, Michael Jackson was in a league of his own. Not just because of his talent and fame, but because of the intense scrutiny his bizarre lifestyle invited. There has been shock and sadness at his death, but from fans and critics alike, you get the sense of an inevitability about all of this, that the Michael Jackson story was never going to end well.
We have a gentleman here that needs help and he's not breathing.
Even as this desperate call was made to 911, Michael Jackson was already dead.
Get down to the floor. I'm going to help you with CPR right now, okay?
As the caller pleads for help, Jackson's personal doctor is performing CPR on the star.
We have a personal doctor here with him, sir. Oh, you have a doctor there? Yes, but he's not responding to anything, to no.
What happened in the minutes leading up to this call is now the question everyone wants answered. But there's growing evidence prescription painkillers played a big part in the death of this troubled star.
He seemed fragile, he seemed sensitive, he seemed emotional, he seemed quiet and soft.
Michael Levine was Jackson's PR man throughout some of the singer's most difficult years. Was he happy?
Happy wouldn't be the first word that would spring to my lips. He seemed confused by his being misunderstood by the world.
According to Levine, nobody in Jackson's life dared tell him the truth.
What should happen is if you walk into a neighbor's house and you say something stupid, your friend or family is supposed to say, hey, what did you just say? That's a very stupid thing. You shouldn't be saying that.
He had no family or friends.
Well, the question is not whether he had family or friends. The question is whether they were not on or off his payroll and had the capacity to tell somebody the truth.
A child who is cast into the spotlight the way he was, you really lose that childhood. You don't lead a regular life. You don't go to a regular school. You don't have a regular schedule.
Neil Portnow is president of the American Music Awards, the Grammys, an award Jackson won a remarkable 13 times.
I think what you lose is an ability to trust, because you're not just another kid on the street. You're somebody that has all this success and fame, and you wonder, is this really somebody that's a friend? Or they're here for another reason.
It seemed the more albums he sold, the more eccentric his behaviour became.
Aren't you coming?
No way.
There was his continually changing appearance. A tortured personal life, including 2 marriages and 3 children. And a series of ever more disturbing public appearances. Over the next 2 decades, Jackson became a human headline.
How do you feel when they call you
Wacko Jacko? Where'd that come from? Some English tabloid. I have a heart and I have feelings. I feel that when you do that to me. It's not nice. Don't do it. I'm not a wacko.
He'd lost touch with reality.
Well, I think that a lot of mega celebrities do. Mega celebrities come to believe often that they can control gravity. But the truth is that if you go out into your backyard, you pick up a big rock, you throw it into the air, no matter how loud you scream, I don't believe in gravity, gravity doesn't really give a rat's ass what you believe.
But reality came crashing down on Jackson in the early 90s when he was accused of sexually abusing 13-year-old Jordan Chandler during a visit to the star's Neverland Ranch.
Don't treat me like a criminal, as I am innocent.
What was he like during that period?
Well, I think that the first thing that happens to major celebrities with this kind of scandal, and this was unprecedented in its scope, is that they become understandably paralyzed, kind of like deer in headlights. And I think that was largely his reaction.
Eventually, a $27 million settlement was reached. But in 2005, Michael Jackson again faced allegations of child sexual abuse after appearing in a documentary holding hands with another 13-year-old boy.
The most loving thing to do is to share your bed with someone.
The trial was typically bizarre. Jackson once turned up in his pajamas. He was acquitted, but the damage was done, and with his career in tatters, he faced financial ruin. Did you ever feel sorry for Michael Jackson?
Yes, he certainly had his share of difficulties and issues, but sometimes that goes with the territory, and with great creativity and genius, often hand in hand, is a tortured sort of existence sometimes. So,
was it of his own making, his tortured life?
When you're given the kinds of gifts that the geniuses of our world are given for whatever reason, under whatever circumstances, I don't know that you necessarily have control beyond that.
Next month was to be Michael Jackson's comeback, a series of spectacular concerts to prove he still had the magic.
He was very focused on this. He was very determined that this was going to be something that was going to be great.
Was he feeling pressure?
I think he was feeling his own pressure.
Just what caused Michael Jackson's death may not be known for weeks, but friends say he'd long been dependent on heavy-duty painkillers. What the Jackson case has done is shine a light on the over-prescribing of drugs and the enablers, as they're called, who help facilitate it. And mostly they're doctors, on call 24 hours a day to supply celebrities with whatever prescription drugs they want.
I think the drugs killed him.
Jackson's close friend, New Age guru Dr. Deepak Chopra, fears Jackson was a victim of unscrupulous medical practices.
There's a plethora of doctors in Hollywood. They are drug peddlers, Wolf. They are drug pushers. They just happen to be having a medical license. And I hope that this episode today, this tragic death of a great human being, will bring to light the huge problem we have in Hollywood with some of the medical establishment.
If you have money, good deal of it, you can get people to do just about anything.
Michael Jackson was the greatest music star of his time, but he was never comfortable in the real world. And in the end, it seems, he couldn't trust the one he'd built for himself.
Hello, I'm Tom Steinfort. Thank you for watching 60 Minutes Australia. Subscribe to our channel now for brand new stories and exclusive clips every week. And don't miss out on our extra minute segments and full episodes of 60 Minutes, which are on 9now.com.au and the 9Now app.